What's up, guys? I am Automatic Jack. My mustache and I are here with some more ranked Raldoron gameplay. Let's see if we can keep the streak continuing up into higher reaches of Terra than we have ever managed before. So we got some Death Guard guys. This direct Rask. I'm actually not sure. Pretty bad at recognizing a fair amount of the Warlords. These are all decent. I think we'll drop the Angel's Tears, and okay,
it is
we come
by
out.
our sacrifice that
Come out with
humanity
Les
is strengthened.
This is direct Rask. Alright, well, we don't have any structures or vehicles, so that helps. That definitely could be worse. 2 damage to our face, essentially. We can do 4 damage to a damaged non-warlord enemy. Alright. Well.
The Death God salutes you.
I think it's going to be this. We'll take this Hermia. Play that next turn. We're going to play the counterattack. And this is deal damage to a random enemy. So that gives us only a 1 in 3 chance of taking that extra bonus 2 damage. There we go. Perfectly good, perfectly good. I think shielding ourselves for that extra 2 damage is pretty much worth it. Alright. Play Hermia. Hermia's a little slow, but we are going to need the Hermia set up at some point. We could also just transition straight into the Matadus and have something to fling into that. Yeah, I think, unfortunately, we're probably going to need to play the Matadus here. Because we need an answer to this, and we don't have one. Clonidus and Ping doesn't really do it for us. He just cracks the drop pod, kills it, and he's still on the board. Maybe that would have been better. He theoretically would have been on the board with HP. Yeah, but instead he trades it off, which I'm kind of okay with. It's a 3 cost for a 3 cost, and he does have another one. Alright, well, it's probably going to have to be the Matadus, or the Clonidus, and some Pingery. What do we think? What do we think? We could also drop a Furvius and hope for the best. That's pretty friggin' optimistic. I mean, if it does stay on the board, then I think Clonidus and Ping, because then we can play a Furvius and buff it. The assumption here is that he cracks the drop pod with his face. He destroys this, leaving it on the board with 1. And he unfortunately gets it back up to 3, which is really bad for us. Yeah, that's pretty bad news. That's pretty bad news. Pretty bad news. Well, we're not having a whole lot of luck here. Things are looking fairly rough. We can kill it with Las Rifle and our Ping, making Las Rifle a 4/4. Or no, with Las Rifle in our face. Yikes. Ugh. Yeah, none of this is looking particularly good. This is all bad. This is all bad. I mean, maybe we just Furvius and Ping something, or Furvius and Kai Zulayan in case he manages to get the Zulayan off first. I don't know. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. We don't have good options here. This his having 2 of these right off the bat was strong. It was strong. If hope against hope, he somehow decides to leave this on the board, then we're going to have the ability to Janus combo. But it doesn't look like he's interested in doing that. Yeah, he's really just going for big boy heals. That's pretty painful. Pretty painful. Tears. And sack the Kaizu lane. Gives us a couple okay targets. Well, he does manage to hit that. That could have gone worse for us. And the Raldoron thing isn't going to do anything because it's all going to heal itself regardless. Yeah, I don't know. Answers, please answers in the comments if you see better plays we could have made. Maybe should have gone for that Clonitus first because he wouldn't have had the ability to heal it back up afterwards. Definitely making some scary boys. Scary, scary boys. I don't have quite enough. Well, actually, we can Lord her Squad, flank it into that demon, kill the demon, and then spear the Force 6. I mean, the alternative there is to flank it into this and ping this off and make it a... That would just make it a 6-2, which doesn't do quite as much, I don't think. Maybe. We're not out of this fight, but it's certainly not starting well. What we need ideally is something with Janice's combo. We need the flanking attack with Janice's combo, although that's not going to hurt us. And I think we'll probably just have to throw the Janice. At least he can't immediately nail it with the Warlord. Do get another spear, that'll probably come in handy for these high health troops, but we're kind of in his territory here. We're 12 health down. He's got more cards, and it's not looking great for us right now. Definitely a hard one. He does have to waste a lot of his stuff to get that open. +1/+1 poisonous is pretty okay for him. Could play both las rifles to kill this. Kill this. Yeah, he's already done his stuff with that thing, so this has to die. So that's gonna die regardless. Now the question is, how do we structure things so that we're still in okay territory? Maybe las rifle, face, hernia. We do have 9, so I mean... Maybe Angel's Tears in the middle of those two. He has a lot of options for removal. Las rifle, face, and we'll Hermia for draw. We do have a Dracius to play into Angel's Tears, but we're so low on cards. We're so low on cards. We get a relatively beefy board. He's going for a kill shot here. Oh, that's very good. That's very good. Yeah, Angel's Tears would have... I mean, Angel's Tears would have died to that first. Would have saved us some hit points, but not a lot. Not a lot. Yeah, Angel's Tears comes up. Dracius goes in for the flank in the hopes that Angel's Tears kills it. No, it does not. It swings and misses. And And probably, instead of making a bad mistake there, should have speared and kept the Matidus, but... because I think it is over at this point if he has 1 damage in his hand. Yeah, that was a tough game. That was a very tough game. Yep, that's that. We'll do it. So, Direct Rask, ladies and gentlemen. Surprisingly good deck. Maybe partially good draws with the very solid opening. But I think also well played, and we did not really have the answers. We were a little tactic thirsty early on. And we didn't draw some of the leveler tactics, Crimson Spectre, Host, that kind of thing. All right, Cambodias. Speaking of Host, do we hold on to Host? I don't know. I don't think we do. Maybe holding on to Host would be good for the chance to level it out when we get into the mid game, but we kind of need some removal here, because when he gets his structure up that makes all of his turrets resolution and relentless, then we need to get that off the board ASAP.
It is by our sacrifice that humanity is strengthened.
Not one step back.
That has got to go. Alright, so I think, yeah, he almost always just turrets. That's super common. I think we don't Clonidus here, we Archean. Maybe not the Hermia. Take the Shock Assault, I think. Take the Shock Assault with the thought that this can annihilate some relatively big. If he gets a front line up, you know, with 3 health, puts a Bastion on it, that thing can still kill it. And my biggest worry is if I take the Hernia and I draw another Hernia, then what good is there to me? You know, like, what does that really do anything for me? Does it actually help? So we could drop this in Prophecy, which I don't love. It does leave a 1/1 turret on the board that we could potentially ping off next turn. He's probably going to play his Give Bastion to Everything card. That's like the absolutely standardized Give Bastion to Everything play. Well, the civilian needs a turret shot for us. Keeps the drop pod alive. And this is now a 3/3 in here. So he knows that if he wants to crack it open, he's got to... Okay, so he goes with just removal. Doesn't leave us much worse off. Kind of debating the hit this in Prophecy to have ping set up for next turn. And the alternative is to ping this and Prophecy, but that doesn't set us up quite as well. Yeah, I think it's worth it to take the extra shot from the Sentry, because this gives us something to Raldoron ping. Next turn we can play Furbius, Raldoron ping, or if we need immediate damage on something, we can Las Rifle, Raldoron ping. Yeah, so there's the Shock Assault target, but we have nothing to play it into, unfortunately. And we'll just keep the one hit point turret on the board for pinging. We don't play many Cambodiases at this level, I think, because a lot of them migrate up to the higher ranges of Terra, because Cambodias is a very, very powerful warlord right now. He is gonna... We do have the Spectre at least, so it's not, you know, all hope is not totally lost here. I think so. We're gonna Las Rifle one of these. We're not gonna ping after all. The Las Rifle one of these. And Matidus out. Or shall we Matidus? The alternative is Matidus flanking into one of these guys which then unfortunately puts them well within range of. Yeah, I think it's Las Rifle mad at us. Also, could well have been better to get both of these on the same side, so that we could potentially, so that we could potentially use a use an Angel's Tears, but it doesn't end up mattering because he does manage to. All right, so Angel's Tears is good. We could Judgment it into the other one. Let's see what this hits first, though. Okay, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. We're doing all right on cards, and now at least we're in Spectre range. So if he floods the board, we can Spectre it right back off and heal back up. So we do have some health in our pocket if there's a potential board flood. If he plays something gigantic, we got Spear. Usually he's not going to play something gigantic till he already has a full board, but I take it back. We have something gigantic right there. Right there indeed. So just Spear and Angel's Tears, shoot him in the face. That's it. The alternative is Drachia Squad goes, but I think it's, let's see, that would be 2, 5, and then actually 6, so it is more damage if we play the Drachia Squad. But Drachia Squad I think is better when there's potential other things that we can, like we could Drachia Squad a turret and still get the Angel's Tear shot. Alright, so here's a potential Spectre. Or actually a potential... What we really want here is for Angel's Tears to hit the guy that Drachia Squad does not hit. We want Angel's Tears to shoot this guy. Oh my god, look at that. Look at that. Sometimes you just cash in. Sometimes you just cash in. And do we want to shoot him again? Probably not, because we have some potential flank in the deck. We can use Judgment of Angels to flank into Astartes, which could be either of these. For 7, we could play all 3 of these cards, or for 10, we could play all 3 of these cards and get a lot done. If the Lord or Squad dies, this shoots more. Okay, so he does get his big board split, but we already did a fair amount of damage there. Sanguinary kills one, Angel's Tears kills the other. How was that? Was that acceptable? Or Las Rifle section pings one, I ping one. We Prophecy revealed. That's 6. Yeah, I think that's maybe even better because we get rid of all the turrets. We get rid of all the turrets this way. Or we could even potentially get rid of one of these. Warders, yeah, and then Prophecy. Because just one turret is not nearly so dangerous. And then we still have something to ping for the next round if we have troops on the board. Yeah, and we just take the 2 to the face, which is actually quite good for us. That's the best place that could have landed. I mean, he can eliminate the Las Rifles if he absolutely has to. We screwed up again. We're not paying enough attention to Requiem. That's the... like, playing these troops next to Requiem. I'm too used to Sanguinius where you play them on both sides every single time. Or almost every single time. Yeah, it would have been much better to play it that way. But, okay, so he has... And the thing is, he has relatively few cards here if we can get rid of the pharaohs. That is going to be tough to get rid of the pharaohs, certainly. But we can make our boys here 4/4s, which kills this. Right? We can flank the Tiberel down over here, which kills the pharaohs. And then since this is no longer valuable to us, we can get rid of it, and then we can play a command bridge and get our host of angels for next turn. Yes. Yes, that is a good swing. That is a good swing. Flank with Tiberel. Woof. So good. So good. And now, I mean, yes, he can hit the Las rifle and take 4 more to his face, but yikes. Okay, he has to use removal. Doesn't do all that much for him. We don't really want to host. It's better to just use Sangos to kill this, knock off one of his turrets with our face, and then probably just mad at a squad on the other side to give it a little more threat, more punch on the board. I mean, alternatively, lord her squad and Angel's Tears and save the Sangos for something bigger. That's pretty compelling. Or even lord her squad could kill one of the... Nah, lord her squad kills the front line. Yeah, lord her squad kills the front line for sure. And then down comes the Tears, if he has a response to that. Take another turret off, and he just shoots it right into her face. He's probably raging that his turrets are all absolutely ignoring my units if he has AoE or something that could, you know, get rid of these dangerous things like the Angel's Tears. But Diaz relies on having a lot of turrets, like having just 1 or 2 turrets at the beginning of the turn. You know, he gets another turret here, but he spends 2 energy for it. He's a little bit low on cards. Now he's out of hard removal, so Sanguinary Guard is significantly better. Yeah, now just Host of Angels is giving us board control. And we've still got enough health, even after we kill a turret. Maybe we even Sanguinary Matadus to have fewer turrets, so he has no turrets on the board and 1 card. But I think it's host still. We have some health to work with. And now, yes, he can. Oh, and he cracks the. Wow. Okay, well that makes up for some of his earlier bad turret luck. He does crack the most important drop pod with the turret. But he's well within lethal and he knows it. We have the Darkening Skies, so we can buff up any troops that survive next to us. I think we're in pretty good shape here. And judging by his lack of immediate action, I think he thinks we are probably in pretty good shape too. Do have still another host in here. We've played our Spectre already, so that's not coming back. But we've got... Yeah, that wasn't gonna happen for him. That was not gonna happen. Alright, so Compa Diaz falls. And now we will take a look. Our next opponent, who will it be? Predictions in the comments. You have very little time to make this comment if you're going to. What have you guys been playing? Has anybody tried out the new Custodes? I saw Pirate was playing some of those on his Twitch stream. He is good with, it seems like, everything he plays, but they look pretty powerful. Alright, Nakana Shuriken. We get some Raven Guard. We really, really need those prophecies. Need those prophecies badly. Let's keep the rest of this. Show me a prophecy. No prophecy.
It is by our
Alright,
sacrifice
no luck
that
there.
humanity is strengthened.
It gives me no pleasure to do this.
Gives us a Lectitio Divinatus right off the bat. Don't mind that. Boo. Probably take this. I don't know about taking the second Hermia. Maybe. Maybe. Yeah, maybe the second Hermia is okay. Maybe not. I feel kind of bad about that, having done that. I think Bane of Demons would have been a better option. Well, but if he plays slow like this, then Hermia is actually pretty okay. And we've got choices for our next turn. Interesting. Las Rifle into ping is the answer there. Yep, Las Rifle and ping. Las Rifle gets bigger. And could have played the counterattack first to get a 2-1. I don't know. I think I like keeping it in the hand for potential big bait later. We can just flank in the Matadus, maybe? Make ourselves a new Matadus. The problem with that is we would be overdrawing if we did that, so we probably don't want to do that. Just an outright Loritor. Just outright Loritor squad. I feel like generally you want to use these if you have the opportunity to remove a troop with it and keep it on the board. I mean, you don't get flanked with them every single time, or even necessarily most times. It's probably better. Okay, so here we will Furvious Command over here. We'll use the counterattack and we'll do a little buffing. Oh, could have played Furvious next to the guy I was gonna kill. Yep. Man, those Requiems, I gotta work on the Requiems, folks. That's gonna be the focus of these next few games. Work on thinking about when things are going to die and getting Requiem troops down next to them, because I have more Requiem in this deck than I had in the previous one, and I need to be better with it. I need to improve. Alright, so he does draw us a card. Maybe it would have overdrawn regardless. That's actually okay. We don't really need a ton of draw. We have 10 cards in hand, so we got to get some cards out of hand. Quick like a bunny. Matadus comes out. The other Furvious comes out. That'll bring us down to 8. Hey. And then this will draw us back up to 9. This will go face, and now we have a prophecy, so that's good. Pretty happy about that. And he does have he's got some threatening stuff on the board. I mean, this live Furvious is scary. The Matadus over here is pretty scary. He has to use his flank to... Okay. So here's where Prophecy really comes in handy. Because Prophecy is gonna get these guys live. And then we can just go straight into that, kill it off. That's pretty big. That's pretty big indeed. And we want to get our Clonatus on the board, I think, just to have cards out of hand. and that's the most necessary one. I mean, alternatively, Darkening Skies could be okay. Darkening Skies for the pings and the buffs. I don't hate that. We can actually play. We can play the Clonitus also. And if we kill these other two pawns, and no, I think we just go for his face. So we gotta start hurting him. As I say, if we kill the other two pawns, then these guys are basically health neutral on the turn and are buffed with +1 attack. Okay, he gets the madness of 1 pawn. That's alright. We are risking overdraw, I was gonna say, if he could. But he took a lot of phase damage doing that. He took a lot of phase damage doing that. So, we could flank a Tiburel. I kind of want to save it. I think we las rifle this, and then we, and then we heirloom veterans it. And we will Clonitus as extra backup, or no, we'll just ping him in the face. Yeah, so he's hurt. He still has a lot of cards, but we have some very good options in here. We have some very good options. Bad luck. Really needed the prophecy there. Prophecy would have been really big. Prophecy probably would have ended the game, or very close to it. But can't always get what you want. So maybe just host, and just the straight host. Yeah. Straight host. Pretty good. He can return to hand, but he can't come back up out of hand because he will not have the energy to play that. So if he hits it in the face, I was going to say, if he hits us in the face, then we can Sanguinary Guard it, or even better, we can Crimson Spectre, because Spectre will heal us for 2 as well. Well, that's just beautiful. Yeah, so he does 2 damage, but that's actually neutral. Raldoron. We might as well throw out a Kaiser because why not? Maybe there's a reason why not. If I put myself at risk by Kaizu laning, please inform me. Wow, do we need that prophecy revealed so badly? Oh, we need it so badly. In fact, we are probably going to lose because he's going to be able to do 8 and 3. So we're in serious trouble here. Yeah, there's not a damn thing we can do about this. Really needed that other prophecy. The command bridge not finding prophecy was really bad for us. Yep, and that's that. Man. That's unfortunate. Really just came down to not having enough anti-stealth. I don't know if running more than 2 anti-stealth cards is possible in this deck. Perhaps there's something else in there that we could be including, that Mechanicum troop that is anti-stealth, but we don't fight that many Raven guards. Alright, well there's a host that we won't keep. We'll keep these others, we get Kai.
It is by our sacrifice that humanity is strengthened.
Rage against the dying of the light.
Take a Spectre. Usually you're gonna take a Spectre. What do we think? What do we think the, okay, the option is to
I
do
was expecting you.
absolutely nothing. Kai, and ping him in the face. Kai and the Clonidus. Kai and the Clonidus, because if he uses his Warlord power to try to kill Kai, then he's not able to crack the drop pod with his Warlord. Ah, and he doesn't kill Kai. Poor guy. Poor guy. Okay, well, we've got the medicine for that. Do have a las rifle section in here. Las rifle in Raldoron's face. We'll get rid of the Jedi before it becomes too obnoxious. Both of these are very convincing, however, we'll just go with the finisher. We got a lot of late game options here. We got a lot of late games. So he's had to use all his psychic energy so far and play a card to get it back just to kill one Kaizu Lane, which already gave us a legendary tactic. That's value, ladies and gentlemen. That's hot value. We could theoretically kill the las rifle section off, but if we were going to do that, we should have done it first, before the Clonidus squad attacked. So I think I'm going to leave it like this. At least we remembered to put our drawing Requiem in the middle of our troops that might die. Oh god, and suddenly it's just Tiberel. Okay, pretty frightening. That could be spear bait right there. That could be easy spear bait. Or you know what it is? You know what it is? Oh yeah, five health. You say 5 health. If only we had something that does 5 damage for sneak attack. If only. Yep. So down he goes. Furbius flanks him in. He stuns Magnus. Your purloined card dies. And we draw. And do we draw again? 7. I think we just draw again while we have a chance to trigger. What did I... Oh, no, what? Hey! It wouldn't let me attack! You all saw that. It was because I picked up the card between when it was flank and when it was fast? I'm sorry. Is that a glitch? That's a new one to me. That is a new one to me. Wow. Interesting. Interesting. Not sure I am a big fan of that. Okay. Yeah, not really thrilled about that. Spear, or is it better to just McCragg's Honor it? I am annoyed that this did not work as intended. That is garbage. It became fast, and it would not let us target it because it wasn't fast, quote-unquote, yet. If you say so. If you say so. Alright, so he trades off Janus. Puts a little damage into there. Oh look, he finally gets to hit him in the face. Wow. Wow. That's nonsense. Matidus and Command Bridge and draw. No. Just Host of Angels. Okay. Host of Angels. And his fast attack. Nonsense. Question is, if we had sacrificed the Dracius first, before the host of angels, would 2 of them have landed with the Furbias? It's possible. It's possible, I'm not sure. He does kill the drop pods. He does kill the Furbias. But all the troops stay on the board. And we have enough to do that if we wanted to. I mean, we could hit it with 2 of these, ping it. Yeah, I think I like that, actually. We'll hit it with 2 of these, because this achievements our newest spear. We'll get a Hermia into Matidus, into pinging it, and then we'll draw our command bridge, and just take the other host, because we want to keep up this pressure that we've established. We got a whole little fleet over here, a whole legendary fleet. Looks like they reused some art. Maybe not. Maybe it's just the spaceships look very similar. That could be it. Okay, Ashen blows that. That's fine. He can Ashen blow me. And I'm going to Sanguinary Guard this off. No, I'm not. I'm going to... We can make the Heirloom Veterans a 4/4 by using Lord or Squad and the Heirloom Veterans. It was at this point that he made a terrible mistake. Yes, it's also at this point that I muted my mic, and you can see how pleased I am with myself. I managed to shoot myself in the face with the Heirloom Veterans. Pretty awesome.
This is an act of war against the Imperium of mankind.
Yes, it is an act of war against the Imperium of mankind, perpetrated by me. I muted my mic to cough, and then did not realize, yes, I was showing you my coffee mug saying, this is not full of rum, it's full of coffee. I muted my mic and was so torn up about my idiocy that I forgot to unmute it. And lo and behold, we are left with a soundless video for the remainder of the video from my voice. But if you thought you were safe from Automatic Jack's narration, you were sadly mistaken. Instead, I get to watch through the end of this game and the next game with you, and just revel in the intense stupidity here. I almost smacked myself so hard in the head that I died. Fortunately, I did not die live on stream while recording a video. I think that probably would have been on a bad kind of YouTube highlight. So we take down Magnus. We do manage to kill Magnus despite my unrepentant stupidity. This is definitely going on the stream as a blooper reel edition, because my god, it was not good. It was not good. I was very discombobulated with that happening. Usually I do not make those kind of mistakes. I'm playing with a lot of troops that have rally damages an enemy, and I'm not really used to it and not paying sufficient attention. And this is the result. So this is what happens. So we get Sigismund as our 5th opponent of the day.
It is by our
Basically,
sacrifice
go ahead
that
and keep the
humanity
starting
is
hand,
strengthened.
assuming that...
In the far future, there will be only war.
Assuming that he is going to maybe bastion up a turret or something like that, and we'll be able to like knock it down and then kill it with a prophecy revealed for draw, that kind of thing. Prophecy revealed also seems to go pretty well with the Raldoron power, because it is just you can reduce things to 1 damage and either draw or buff your troops. You really get a lot of good options out of it. So loving the deck. It's a very good card, and it seems to really work for Raldoron. I mean, I thought some of these things synergized heavily. I was was baffled by what he played. I thought a lot of these things synergized well with Sanguinius. It turns out most of them synergize much better even with Raldoron. So we're seeing the effects of that now. He gets his front line, and he's going for the front line mission, so we do want to take that off, but we don't have an immediate solution that I recall. We really instead just kind of say, alright, well fine, we'll just Matadus. Do we just Matadus? We just Matadus. Yeah, in fact, we'll buff up the Matadus so it gets a little bit. Maybe survive if he finds a way to crack the drop pod and hit it. He has to hit it for more than 3 to get it out of there. Alternatively, if he does not damage it, then it can hit his frontliner and kill it entirely and stay on the board, which is pretty valuable. He's debating now whether he wants to buff himself up or go for those displaced civilians. I believe he ends up playing a card to buff himself. Yes, he does. He gets shit. And he gets the madness that way, so that's not the end of the world. Looking at our options, we like the Furvius a lot for setup. Now, we deliberately put it over there because I was kind of concerned about overdraw. I figured that I was going to play those guys into a prophecy revealed and draw a bunch of cards, and I was concerned that I was going to draw so heavily that I would be, yeah, see, that is what I'm alluding to silently right now in the video. I was worried that I was going to overdraw and then, lose out on the secondary guard or something like that. And it ends up working out fine. That was a deliberate choice. I don't know if it was the best choice, but it was a deliberate choice because he leaves the Furvius alone, and that lets us do our thing with the flanking, which we just love. We just love it. So Raldoron reduces that, gives flank. Flanker comes in, and he's a little bit stuck. We figure we'll play the Kai. Now we're a little more optimistic about draw potential, since it's looking like we're probably not just going to be playing the Darkening Skies and the Prophecy. You can see I'm organizing up my hand for the play so I don't screw up again. Much like we saw in the Combat Diaz game, the Fists really rely on getting kind of a really big board built up that's too much for you to deal with. And right here, he's having a hard time with that. Like, he's not really able to get a giant board built up that he can, at the same time, protect and buff and bastion and everything else. And instead, it's just, it's falling apart. It's kind of falling apart. We're able to do a little harm. We debate throwing in the Kaiser Lane just for card draw, and we figure, nah, Kaiser Lane is good. We saw Kaiser Lane give us big cards before. I like watching myself shrug and be confused about what the right thing is to do. And there we have it. Because the option was probably going to stay around anyway. If he kills the Furvius and not the Kaiser Lane, hey, we still have a Kaiser Lane on the board. Once again, pretty dedicated to that frontline mission, but he is kind of in a bad way as far as how that's going to work for him. So we figure our option here is to try to reduce one of them and maybe throw in some cards, but we'll see what ends up happening. Just the thoughts really is how can we use Angel's Tears most effectively? Should it be Sanguinary Guard to kill one? Should it be Angel's Tears? What should we really end up doing here? And we end up going with just the Sanguinary Guard to have a bigger board presence, because this way we can get these off and we can buff the Furvius and even buff the Sanguinary. That puts us in some pretty dangerous territory for facing an enemy with 17 health. I mean, he's starting to run a little bit low here, and he's not able to maintain board. He should really realistically have a pretty significant board by this point. And that's just simply not significant enough.
my life for the Imperium.
And there's the tap. He knew that it was coming. He was just not going to be able to keep enough stuff on the board. And we manage a third win for the third out of 5. So I actually played a couple ranked games after I filmed this video. I won one and lost one. Neither one was, I think, super exciting and worth putting in a video. We lost to a Luther, unfortunately, but then ended up beating up on somebody else. But there you have it, folks. There is the fixed version of this video. I will see you all in the next one.